We're going to have to wait for some people to hop on. Okay, we're live. Woo! All right, we're live. You're watching us right now in this very moment. You're probably watching the replay because we don't have anyone watching right now in this very moment. Um, Today, for the title, as you can see, we're going to talk about how to get your legal documents in Costa Rica. If this is your first time popping on or seeing Pablo and I here, we're here once a week. So we're here to answer questions. We are going to be changing the time because we kind of realized that people, it's like 3:30 p.m. Eastern right now. So that's not super, yeah, we didn't pick the best time. So we're definitely going to change the time for these in the future. But at least hopefully a lot of you guys can catch the replays or we can repost them other places so you can check them out. But how have you been since the last time we saw each other last week? Well, because last week we talked about having kids in Costa Rica. So if you want to go back, well, you can check my YouTube channel. There's the lives on there, all the past ones. Well, we've done 3. And then you can also scroll back through the Facebook group and probably look for any posts that I've made through, Sarah Elena. And then you'll be able to see last week's live too. Because I had someone ask me about children like literally the next day. And I was like, we just did a live on this yesterday. So today we're having a new topic and we're going to have a very special guest pop on as well. So it's about how to get your legal documents in Costa Rica. It could be residency, marriage, but I'm going to let them explain a lot more on that.
Thank you so much. Once again, nice to see you guys. Nice to see you group. Nice to see you community, uh, an expert community, and everybody interested on living abroad, living in Costa Rica. This is a weekly Q&A or weekly time for us to touch on different topics. I do feel not a lot of people know about this. Not like I know you guys. If you're looking to move abroad, it could be to Costa Rica, to somewhere else. The requirements may be for your immigration. It may be that you need your police records or your FBI records. Maybe you are getting married, in Costa Rica, and then one of the requirements for that marriage to be, legal here is that you prove that you're single, things like that, and then all of that, because you're not a Costa Rican, you have to go get that wherever you're coming from. And then on top of that, you have to get that document legalized, and you have to get that document sent to the to get apostille, and it's many different things, maybe officially translated, and we want to talk about that today. We are inviting Laura Mejia. Laura Mejia works with international documents. That's the name of the firm that all they do is get the international documents for you. Let's bring Laura, and let's just start asking
Okay,
her questions.
let's say hello to Laura. Hi, Laura.
Hello. Hey everyone. It's nice to be here and to be able to share this topic, which is very important and not a lot of people get it. Like it's hard to follow the thread of how to get your documents, what are documents, which ones are needed, and what the heck is legalization. That's the biggest part.
Yeah.
So
I,
yeah.
I I just have to say, I've been doing research on this particular topic for the last few months. I do not see many service providers, at least in Costa Rica, very few. Maybe one legal firm or a couple of legal firms have offices in 2 countries, and that's how they could actually provide the service.
Yeah.
So I think not a lot of people know that this is even possible to do.
Yeah.
So what's the possibility is if you need a document from United States or from England or Holland or whatever country, uh, there is a way to get it locally from Costa Rica, and you don't have to flight and submit the application locally. You don't have to do anything. There is a service provider. It's called International Documents that is able to get these documents for you. Laura, can you explain a little bit about how this process works,
Yeah,
and we
sure.
can take it from there?
Yeah. Well, it's not only if you're in Costa Rica. For example, we can get documents from places that are really far away, like China. And if you need a document and you're in Panama or you're close to Costa Rica, it's going to be abundantly cheaper and easier to go through us than just to go all the way up to China and get the document. I think the most important thing that we all need to understand and is what is legalization and what makes a difference on you coming from your country, immigrating into a new country with your documents, and getting them legalized so that they can be used in that particular country. So, legalization is the process in which the documents are submitted through a legal authentication process, and it goes through every single embassy. So, for example, if you need a document from Canada, which is a very good example, you're going to have to take that official document that a Canadian government institution is going to have to give it's going to give to you. You're going to have to take that to the Canadian Foreign Affairs Ministry, and you're going to have to get it stamped. And after that, you're going to have to go to the embassy in Canada from the country of destination that you're going to use that document, and you're going to have to get it stamped as well, so that the embassy from your destination country says, well, I'm here in Canada, I see that this document is true and it's from the Canadian government. After that, that document comes to Costa Rica, and you have to take it to Foreign Affairs Costa Rica because they are the only ones that can authenticate the signature from an embassy. So they have to say this embassy is real, and I get that they're saying that this document is real. And after that, you can use your document. So it's a really difficult process. Not every single country has every single embassy that you need, so sometimes you have to go through a friendly nation to do the process again and then go to your destination country. Now, I think it was in the 60s, a lot of different countries and states decided that this was a very difficult process and that they wanted to make it simpler. So they became part of the Apostille Convention. And what they did is that they created an international sign of authentication for a specific document. So if your country, the country that you're coming from, or your destination country is part um, of the Apostle Convention, then you only need the simple apostle that this particular country of admission of the of the document has, and it's going to be accepted by other countries. That's the example of the U.S. and Costa Rica. We are both part of the Apostle Convention. So if I need a document from the US, all I need is that document to be apostilled, and it's going to be accepted in Costa Rica. So that's like the basis of what documents is. And even just that, it's a little bit hectic. It has its things, and you really have to understand the process. So yeah.
It it does. And so we have a lot of people from Canada, and I know that their process is a little bit different. It's an
Yeah.
because they're not part of that Hague Convention for the apostille.
Well,
So,
they will be.
oh, they
Uh,
will be. Are they going to
yeah,
do that?
starting January, I believe.
Yay.
Foreign Affairs has said an announcement that they're going to be part of the Apostle Convention, and they're going to start having apostles. So it's going to be a much easier process for Canadian people.
For
But
sure.
there's still a bunch of other countries that are not part of the Canadian Convention, and you still need documents from there. Like people still live there.
Exactly. But so you guys are able to help, even it doesn't matter if they're not a part of the Hague Convention, you can still help with Canada, with Russia, with actually Russia's part of the Hague Convention.
Yeah.
With any country, regardless of if they use the apostille or not.
Yeah, and even if we don't have like a specific process, you can come here and give us like your concerns and what do you have, and we can take it from like you have the document. We can see what we can go from there, and we'll give you steps, and we'll help in as much as we can to help you immigrate to any country you want.
Okay, if you hear lots of lots of noise in my background, is like I just happened to move to this location to get better connection, and they just happen to have a little convention of people. I just didn't know.
It's okay.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
goodness, look at that. Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, I didn't mean to. I just muted you yeah. It's fine. We're living our real lives here, right?
Yeah.
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 But anyway, there are like we just mentioned, there are a lot of perhaps documents that are kind of difficult to get. Maybe countries in Africa or countries in you know but there are some of the most common documents that we
Yes.
know they're common. Laura, what are those common documents that we could get? That is, I'll get the process is already set up, the system is already set up, and we know how to get them.
Yeah. So the most common document that we've gotten is an FBI background check from the US. Of course, the FBI is from the US. In which case, what we do is that we take your finger, if you're here in Costa Rica, of course, we take your fingerprints and we submit them to the FBI. We get the document. And once we got it, we get the apostille and we give it to you. And you don't have to do anything other than come to an appointment with us and give us access to your fingertips.
That's awesome. What are some of the, I guess, what are some of the other ones that you see are most common, especially maybe during the residency process, or you even mentioned a personal, what you said your cousin also
Yeah.
had married. What are some of the other main documents that you see for the residency process that you guys gather?
Yeah, so for the residency process, normally what you need is your background check and your birth certificate. So, regarding of the country you're coming from, we can help you procure a background check and the birth certificate. There are different countries, such as Canada and the US, that require fingerprinting, but not all the countries need that. So, if you need the fingerprinting, we could do that for you. If it's not necessary, we can do it through the form or the different connections that we have in each individual country. Now, there's a lot of countries, mostly Anglo-Saxon countries, where the woman, once married, they take their husband's last name. That's not normal in Costa Rica, and it sometimes it makes it difficult for you to get your residency because they see a discrepancy between your birth certificate and all the other information that you're providing. So in that particular case, it's very important for us to get the reason why you change your name. If it's a marriage, then we get the marriage certificate. If you have multiple marriages and you have changed your name more than once, we have to provide all that marriage history so that they can see a road between your name at birth and the name that you have right now. So I would say that those are the three most common. The FBI, well, the background check, depending of the country, the birth certificate, and the marriage certificate in those particular cases.
Do you ever see a case where you need to get like a divorce decree? Are you able to get those too?
Yeah, there are cases where you need the divorce decrees. Divorce decrees are tricky, but we can still get them because there are some countries or states where the divorce decree is more than just going to a notary and deciding that you're getting divorced. Sometimes it requires a judge to accept the divorce between those people. So those divorce decrees become court documents. The process is a little bit harder. We have to get in touch with the court. We have to get the sentence, and then we have to apostille that sentence and bring it here to Costa Rica. But we can still do it, and we've done it before.
Wow, let me just say something. Isn't she? I don't know. Is she here? Yeah. Isn't she smart? It's just like this Josh. By the way, Laura, she's finishing law. She's an
Yeah.
advanced law student, but she knows all these things about states and countries and documents. It's like I don't know what to say. um,
A lot of information.
yeah, it's a lot of information and it could be tricky. And there is always a little but, a little this, a little that. And
And you
I just have
know,
a question. I just have a
yeah,
question on the Facebook. It's a Facebook user. We cannot see the name of the person because of our system. We are broadcasting in different platforms. Uh, but it's got a question. I wanna address that. Maybe Sarah, you can show the question on the screen in the comments side.
Yes.
It's just like
yeah.
Yeah.
Facebook
Well,
user says,
what do you
"What
need if
do
you're
I
coming
need?"
from Canada,
Now,
right?
this is the thing. What do you need for what? Like, what do you need
Mm.
for
Exactly. Yeah.
immigration or for getting married? Or like, please, I wanna make a point here. International documents, and correct me if I'm wrong now, Laura. International documents is not a legal firm in Costa
No.
Rica. They are not capable of providing legal advice. They deal with legal stuff every day, but this is the type of question that you and in your particular case need to touch. You need to touch these questions with your immigration attorney if you are doing immigration. If you're getting married and you have an attorney that is getting you married, ask your attorney for your specific case, because legal stuff is complex and there is always a little but a little thing. But let's just guess that he's talking about getting a residency in Costa Rica. And
Or
once
Well,
you,
again,
it depends what residency category too. So I'd be
exactly,
interested
that's
that
the
if you
thing.
could reply,
So
letting us know if you've already had a consult and what residency category you're even thinking about filing, because it can vary.
yeah,
exactly,
so
that's even the thing. Like, you've said it. I'm a law student, and with the law, you have to thread really thin. Like, any little thing that you change in the process, it's going to make a huge difference in your results. So yeah, there are very different categories to immigrate to Costa Rica, from like people that come here to rent, like people that come here to buy a house or to invest in the country, even going through people that immigrate due to political reasons and they need some asylum in the country. So there's a bunch of different ways in which you can come here to Costa Rica. But assuming that you are not fleeing your country due to political reasons, and that you are not coming here to invest, in which case you need to have a standard. You need to have a little bit of money in your account. They have a standard. Um, let's say you are coming here because you are retiring, or you want to rent. Uh, Basically, in those cases, what you're going to need is your vital records, your personal information, so that the country knows who you are. That would be your birth certificate. Again, if you are a woman or a person that has had a name change, you need to provide information of that name change. I've said it before about the marriage. If you're a woman, you may change your last name, but people get adopted too, and you change your name that way. And you can also procure your car documents to provide that information. Or there's even more reasons. Maybe you didn't like your name and you changed it. That's something that you also need to procure information to give it to Costa Rica. So yeah, personal information. And in the case that you're retiring or you're being a rentista person, the country needs to make sure that you're not going to be like a financial extra burden for the country. So they'll probably ask you for bank information, in which case you're going to have to go to your country, request your bank information, and that you have to get notarized by the bank notary. And we can get that apostille for you so that you can bring it to Costa Rica. In cases of retirement, you will also need to go to your bank, ask for your retirement plan, apostille that, and bring it back to Costa Rica. So basically, those are like the basics of what you're going to need. For Canada specifically, the RCMP background check, which is Canadian Royal Mounted Police background check, your birth certificate. Again, if you need financial information, your financial information. And if you have had any name changes, well, then the records that your name has changed. I don't know. I hope that answers your question.
I know it's a lot of information, so
Yeah.
therefore always talk to your immigration attorney. And Sarah Elena has a network of service providers that can walk you through these processes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would say the first thing is, if you need information about moving to Costa Rica, enroll into Sarah Elena's program and learn from everything, from how owning a property in Costa Rica, building a property, she's building a couple of properties, getting your immigration set up, and getting all these contacts that are useful for you when you're moving into a different country that is new to you. That will be the first step. And get connected with a good immigration attorney that is got a good name, good reputation. That's vital. That's important.
Super important. And like, I mean, yeah, I guess safely you could say, yeah, federal background check, birth certificate, and marriage certificate if you're married. But then the rest will just depend on what your lawyer's going to recommend, depending on what residency category you're filing. Then there'll be some extras. So actually, I do have a question for you.
Yeah.
So, well, like, okay, most of the cases that I deal with, so in some cases, I'll work with someone who says, I know I want to file my residency. I want to file right when I enter. And I'll ask you about that. And then some other times when I will, like, some other times, so sometimes I'll have someone, I'm not sure, I want to come try it out. So like that would be very appropriate, I feel like, to use you guys for like when they're like, I'm not sure, let me go see how Costa Rica is, because I didn't have to leave the country to gather any of my documents, and it was perfect. Or I'll have some people say, oh, we want to come down and invest in a property, should we start gathering our documents now? And I usually will tell our clients no. I'm like, don't go through all that trouble, because it could take you don't want to rush going, what property am I going to buy? What am I going to buy? So I can now, my documents are going to expire.
That's the
So
important thing. Documents expire. Like you have from 3 to 6 months tops of like document viability, and after that, your document can say you're the Queen of England, and nobody here is gonna believe you.
yeah,
So yeah, that's an important thing to consider. If you're coming here, as Sarah has said, don't rush, because you may do all. It's a hard process. Even in your country where you speak your language, it's hard to have to go to the state or county office, get your documents, stand there in line. They have like a bunch of time frames. Sometimes they go by them, sometimes they don't. So don't do that. I think that immigration itself, my mom immigrated from the Dominican Republic, just so you know. So immigration itself, it's a very hard process. And the idea of international documents is that we make it, at least that burden of your documents, we can take that away from your head, and you can like start considering it, everything else. So yeah.
exactly. So I'll basically tell people, okay, if you're not sure if you want to file, then you can do it from here. Don't worry. And like I said, I would recommend an agency like you guys. Or if you're going to come and buy a property, because closing could take 3 months. First of all, it could take you months to find it. Then it could take months to close on it. So I said, just wait, but don't worry. You can do it from here. Use an agency like you guys. But then my question for you was, okay, but then I have the other people who know that they want to file like right when they walk in the door of Costa Rica. Are you guys able to handle that? Because my question would be, with the FBI background, with the fingerprinting because some people, they could do it themselves, of course, and that's fine. But some people are just busy. They're working jobs. They have kids. They want someone else to take care of it. So are you guys like, how do you work? Do you work that process if someone is like, they want to file right when they come in? I guess I'm curious in how that works with the fingerprinting for the FBI background check. Is that the one thing that they just do on their own, and then you guys would handle the rest of their documents if that's what they wanted to do?
Let me see if I'm understanding correctly. They already know that they're gonna apply for residency here, but they are still in their home country.
Yeah, some of them, yeah.
So we are a very ethical company, and we are not in the business of like ripping you off. So in this particular case, it's very important that you know your requirements, that you know what you're gonna need when you come here into Costa Rica. Because a lot of people have brought the documents that they thought they needed, and then when they come here, they realize that those documents weren't needed at all, or that your birth certificate from where you were born is not acceptable, and you have to get a new one issued. So first of all, I would say do your research again. Go talk to a lawyer. See which category you want to do. What's the state of your finances, how you're going to work that out. And after that, if you want and you need and you think it's needed, you can book an appointment with us, and we can guide you on how to get your own documents while you're coming here to Costa Rica.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So it would be a case, let's say I was in the United States, in Virginia, where I'm from, and I'm moving to Costa Rica in October. It wouldn't be a case where I would be like, okay, like, I'm Sarah, can you get all my stuff for me? Bye.
We can
It-
do that
You guys
if you
would,
want. Like if you want, and in the States this happens a lot. For example, you live in Virginia, but you were actually born in Florida. And you don't want to go all the way through Florida to get your documents. In that particular case, if you want us to have everything ready for when you arrive, we can do that too.
Right.
If you think you have enough stress in your hands to again go through the whole process of procuring your documents, you can contact us and we can get you everything. And as soon as you're here in Costa Rica, we can give those documents to you. And even something else, if you also already have a lawyer that it's already processing your immigration process here in Costa Rica, we can even give the lawyer give your documents to your lawyer, and they can go with the time even before you're here in the country.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Just have a couple of questions, but one is the average. What is the average cost for the service? Let's
Mhm.
say for the most popular uh, document, the FBI record. I understand Canada is different, the UK is different, every country is different, maybe even every state is different. Just
Yes.
the average, uh, because this is gonna set the standard if people want to just try to get their documents on their own, or say, well, yeah, I'm just willing to pay, so I don't have to fly back to Florida, or fly back to Virginia to start getting this.
Mhm.
Of course. Let me pull up my cheat sheet because I don't have them at the top of my head. So
Funny,
one
just
second.
yesterday I was talking to my friend Taylor, and she said something about, yeah, well, I need to fly back at some point to pick up this document, and I literally was like, no, you don't, like, and I told her, and so yeah, you'll be hearing from her as well. But I
Okay.
was like, no, girl, like you can get it all done here, and I was like, okay, since you're already here, I was like, okay, like it'll be more expensive for you to fly back and do all that, and it'll be way
Yeah.
more of a hassle. It's not like she wants to just go back anyways to do
And
something, so
it's not only like the monetary expense, it's the time. You have to take time from your life here to go back to do all the research, to get all your documents. And again, there are time frames. It's not like you're gonna get into the state office and they're gonna give you your document. You probably have to submit a form and wait. So yeah.
I don't know if you it happens to you, Sarah, but I remember when I used to live in South Carolina, filling out the forms for the IRS, like the W-2 form or whatever forms, and then you don't really know if you're doing it right. Like you're filling out the information. Here's the tax ID or social security number. Here's this. Here's that. How many dependents? Then you go to Florida. This is just coming out with this example. I'm going back to Virginia to start getting these documents. You go try to get the form, and then it may be that you're filling out the form, send that thing, and then it get rejected. So you're having to do it again. So there is a value to international document procurement. There is a value of having somebody that knows how to deal with these things, fill out the forms with you or for you, and walk you through the process.
And the value is peace of mind. Like you're gonna be chilling, sipping a pina colada while I'm like talking with every single person getting your document. So yeah. So as our prices, the FBI, which I was saying is one of the most common certificates that we get, has an approximate cost of $450. Then for the US, for marriage certificates and birth certificates, the normal cost it's $400. Those costs already include the apostle and the shipping to your destination country, which is normally here, Costa Rica. And if you already have your document and all you need is the apostle process, then we can only get your document apostle, which includes the shipping and the apostle itself. And the cost is going to be of $250 approximately. As per other countries, well, we have a really long list of countries. We have starting from like England, which may sound kind of like a normal, and Denmark, going all the way to Armenia and as Azerbaijan. I really have a hard time
oh, sorry.
yeah. So that it's really going to depend. They go from the $250 up to um $1,000 depending on the country and the many different needs that that country has. Also, countries like the US or even Costa Rica, documents are relatively cheap. Like the state doesn't like you don't have to pay like $50 to get a document. Whilst in other countries such as Sweden or Denmark, the cost even for the state document, it goes higher. So that's really what makes the difference.
Okay. I guess someone could contact you to get the actual quote, depending on what they need. So I have to go pick up my daughter from school. I'm going to be late, but I can just remove myself and you guys could just keep continuing. And then maybe you'll still be on by the time I get back. But then I guess, and then if you leave, just leave the studio. And I guess the live will just keep awkwardly running for a bit until I get back. So is that, because I saw some people had some questions and they look like good ones and I don't want to cut it short for that. Are you guys good with that?
Yeah.
You cool, Pablo? Oh, you're on mute. Okay, I'm gonna remove myself. Y'all have fun. I'll be back.
So I'm seeing a very interesting question, which is saying I was born in a war-torn country that my parents fled as refugees. What do I do in my case regarding a birth certificate? Well, that's going to depend on which was the document, the country where you were born, and if you have a recollection of which is the document stated on your birth certificate. Because I know in some military cases, such as one that I worked with like a year ago. This person was actually born in France, but it was inside a US military base. So he was a US citizen born abroad. And in that particular case, we go to the State Department in DC and we get the document as a born abroad and we can get it apostille. But if your country, oh, I'm seeing here it's Lebanon, you can send us an email with your request, and I can take a couple of days to do my research, and I can let you know. Please also state the year where you were born, so that we can talk to the embassies and we can talk to foreign affairs in that particular country.
See, the thing here is, the most common documents, yeah, FBI from the US, um, or from Canada, from UK. Some of these remote countries, where it may not be part of this international convention, uh, are going to require a lot more. So how how can we contact you, Laura? Uh, just tell us what is the easiest way to contact you.
My easiest way to contact me is through an email. You can get me at Laura at international documents with a double O in documents.com. I don't know if I can write it or if maybe we
Yeah,
can
I'm
put it
showing
in
my
the
screen.
video.
Oh, let me see. I cannot show my screen because Sarah is not here.
Yeah.
But uh, going to the website, which is internationaldocuments.com,
Hmm.
on the contact, there is a way to book an appointment with you.
Yeah,
That's
you can write me or you can book an appointment. Either way, you can contact me. If you write to me, it usually takes me about 24 hours to get back to you, normally less. And if you book an appointment, then we're going to have a face to face through a video call, and you can explain your situation to me, and then if I have to, I'll take time to do my research, and if not, I'll give you the information right away. Anything we don't know, we can research.
that's a pretty good question. It's a complex one. I'm gonna just mention here John Miller. John Miller is watching this via YouTube, and we are using Sarah Elena's platform. So I don't work with Sarah Elena as far as, I mean, she's a relocation specialist and she helped people move to Costa Rica, and I've been collaborating with her in many different projects, including doing a weekly Q&A like this, to just share information about Costa Rica, answering questions. As a business owner in Costa Rica and father of two, I have some insight. uh, John, I believe we met first time in one of the retreats for Sarah Elena. and we talked before about shipping some of the things that he owns to Costa Rica. And I'm gonna reach out back to him. I think he texted me through WhatsApp or something. Yeah, nice to see. Nice, at least this way to connect in a different way.
Of course.
Uh, I was gonna say something else. There is another question here. Daily, daily Rams. Sorry, I'm not if I'm not pronouncing it right. And it's, is it difficult to apply for a pensioner status in Costa Rica? I lived in Canada. I'm just gonna say I'm not an immigration attorney.
Yeah.
I'm not an attorney. Uh, you know, Laura Cristina Mejia represents a company that facilitates international documents. So she's not an attorney yet, and she's not, equipped or legally, her legal status is not, uh, she doesn't have the legal status to say, well, she's an attorney, right? So
Yeah.
we are not legal advisors
Yeah.
in this setting. But I just gonna say, out of like a lot of my customers, what I hear, it seems to be very complicated. Like, doing immigration into another country. If somebody's telling you that it's going to be easy, it's not gonna be easy.
No.
So, and this is why services like yeah, like moving internationally is going to be complex. Moving into a new country, changing your entire surrounding, changing your network of friends and contacts, uh, having even you need a plumber, even if you need somebody to paint your house, it's
Yeah.
new. It's all new, so it's complex. So there are services like international documents, which is an international document procurement company. They facilitate international documents
Yes.
that can help in this process. There are immigration attorneys that are experts on their field, and my advice to you would be to set up an appointment with an immigration attorney. In this case, I will reach out to Sarah Elena and have a conversation with her. She's got a lot of experience guiding people through these processes, and she's got a pretty good immigration attorney that she's referring to her customers.
Yeah, I would
That's
also
Go
say
ahead.
that the complexity of applying, it's gonna depend on how good and reputable your attorney is. Because
Yeah.
if they're just starting, if they don't have a normalized process, it's gonna be much difficult for them to understand. It's not only that the process has a lot of complexities in itself, it's that also you have to know how to handle administratives here in Costa Rica. Like there's a way to talk to them, there's a way to approach them, and if you don't have that expertise, they're gonna make your life difficult. So it's very important that you take that into consideration when you're looking for an attorney as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you an example. This is called, in nice, really nice words, bureaucracy. I would just
Yeah,
call it bullshit. Just say this is fucking bullshit, right? I'm sorry, I'm like, but
it's
but
okay.
in Latin America, you have this bureaucracy. Now, if your immigration attorney is someone that is filing 10 cases every week, 20 cases every week, or
Yeah.
I don't know, X amount of cases. They are going to the immigration attorney. They know the contact who's there. They
Yeah.
see them every day. They smile. They say, "Hey, let's go for lunch. Let's go for a
They
coffee."
take him
They,
cupcakes, they take him
yeah,
chocolates, and they're happy.
yeah. So this immigration attorney has an established relationship with the entire immigration department that could make things easier, smoother. And I know it isn't fair. I know it is. It might sound like is corruption, but this is how Latin America works. The same thing in Panama. The same thing in Mexico. Building relationships is more important than money. And it is the same thing. My business is shipping. I do international shipping, and I deal with international, with export and import. I deal with customs. So
Mhm.
my team goes to customs like literally a month, hundreds of times. We go to customs with the case, with the container full of different things, and there is an issue with the container. But because we have a long established relationship, they know our business. They know we are not trying to smuggle drugs. We have a reputation and a name. Uh,
Yeah.
you know, Oftentimes they will just, okay, just let it go through. It's not even about bribing people. And a lot of people that have this, a lot of people has this mentality that, oh, it's all corruption, is bribing people. It's not about bribing people, at least not in my case. I mean, we established for over 14 years now a relationship with people at customs, and if we find a good service provider that has to deal with the government, with the local municipality, with immigration, and with customs, is someone that has a name and reputation and has been in the block, has been around for a long time. And oftentimes you're gonna get, you get people to say, yeah, can you do immigration for me? Yes. Can you get me married? Yes. Can you do my real estate closing? Yes. uh,
I wouldn't
uh,
even
uh,
say that
yeah.
it is only an Latin American thing. You're always, in every single country, you're going to find that your attorney is as strong as its network. If they have a good network of assistants, if they have a good network of people within the government, you're going to have a strong attorney. So, really, I would say do your research, daily rasp, mostly about the attorney that you're going to give your loyalty to, that you're going to give all your information to, so that they can assist you in the best way possible.
No, once again, I've been working with Sarah Elena for at least, I would say, 2 3 years now, 2 years and a half, almost three. All of our customers, when they come to our business, which is international shipping, they have been through a process. They already know. And Sarah has this program with 101 coaching, then follow ups, then it's got all this support, and also her network of contacts that they've been doing. They do this. This is what we do for a living. So I would just reach out to her, going through she's got a consultation call. I believe it's for free or something like the first one, and then after that, you could decide if this is something that you want to what you want to do. But something that I know you needed to do is talk to somebody that knows about these things, that is an expert. I will always recommend Saturday's program. uh, but if not, just do your research, try to talk
Yeah.
to somebody that is that is doing things properly, that's got a lot of good reviews,
Yeah.
it's got corporate references, that the email does not end at yahoo.com. you know
Yes.
Look for formality, look for formal. And I understand there's a lot of nice people that could talk to you really nice and sweet and be super customer service oriented, super like nice talking to nice talking to them. But those are the best salesmen, and these particular things, you don't want to deal with a salesman. You want to talk to an expert, and the expert is usually pretty busy. It's usually somebody that, like, in my team, has my agenda is busy from start to finish, from 8:30 a.m. every morning to 5 p.m. We have consultation calls about shipping every day, and this is because we have a lot of word of mouth and referrals, and we're busy. Your attorney should be somebody that is like that is busy, that is an expert, that is giving and providing proper advice. Um, yeah. Do you want to add anything else, Lara?
Um, I the only other thing that is very important for me to say is that sometimes people think we only bring documents from other countries here to Costa Rica. We can deliver in any destination that you need. But also, if you're a Costa Rican citizen that it's living outside of Costa Rica and you need documents, we can also assist you with your Costa Rican documents to go outside the country. We can get them legalized, and we can send them to you. So that's another important thing to keep in mind.
No. Now, this I think I have a good question. How could you do this? Like how? Like, of course, there's a lot of. Can you tell me why and how you're able to do it? And Mr. John Miller or Daily Ras cannot do it by themselves. I think we mentioned this. Anybody can do this locally by themselves, but how could you do it from here, international?
So, if you are outside of Costa Rica and you need a document from Costa Rica and you don't know how to get them or who can help you, we have connections. We already have a process also on how to procure the documents. If it's your birth certificate from el Tribunal Supremo de Elecciones, if it's your marriage certificate from el registro, there are different ways that we can get them. Um, Also, you can get them online, but this is the thing. If you get them from the service online of the tribunal or the registro, you're gonna get them so that you can use them in Costa Rica. They have to go through extra steps to be able to be used outside of Costa Rica. For example, your birth certificate here, we can get them for you from the tribunal, but after that, it has to go into an internal process of El Tribunal Supremo de Elecciones, where they can say that this document is going to be used abroad. And after that process within that institution is completed, we still have to take it to the consulate, also here in San Jose, so that it can get the apostille for us to send it to you and you can use it in any other country that requires an apostille. If you, by any chance, are living in a country that doesn't have apostles, that it's not part of the Hague Convention, then we're gonna have to do the legalization process, and we can get it started here in Costa Rica, and go all the way to giving you your document, and you only having to go to foreign affairs in your destination country to get the one last stamp and use it. So yeah.
Once again, this is a lot of information. I think the best way, if you need to get a document that is from your origin country, you have questions, you can go to internationaldocuments.com. And this is international documents with double O,
Double. Yeah.
double O. So international DOO ments.com.
uh, yeah.
uh, and
John, I think you were asking about what documents can you get in the US. Again, the first thing that you need to know is which category of residency are you applying, or even citizenship, because you can also apply for citizenship. So, which category are you going to apply for? And depending on that category, those are going to be the documents that you need. So, it really kind of depends. And it also depends on your particular situation, as we were talking about, if you were adopted or if you changed your name in your adult years. That is also going to affect the documents that you're going to need once you come here in Costa Rica.
amazing. I think our time is up. I have to go into my next meeting. Thank you so much, everybody, for being part of this Facebook Live. We'll be doing it every week. We're changing the time now to 10 a.m. As Sarah mentioned, but we'll be bringing more guests like Laura with international documents. We'll be talking about different topics. So next week, same day at 10 a.m. We'll have more information, and of course, this is going to be recorded, and this is going to be available for you to watch at Sarah Elena's YouTube channel and Sarah Elena's Facebook. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Ciao.